Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome back to the Mazda ND2 Miata. Yes, I've driven many examples of ND1, ND2, ND3, and all generations of the Miata, but this one is particularly special because it's the shop car for 949 Racing, a very popular manufacturer of aftermarket parts for all generations of Miata. The owner, Ed, who is the owner of 949 Racing, modified this to be mostly a track car, but it's also streetable, although less so, in his own words. Full list of mods is in the video description, but we're powered by a 2-liter naturally aspirated inline 4-cylinder engine. When stock, it made 181 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. This engine, though, has been built and tuned and now makes 180 wheel horsepower. We have a 6-speed manual transmission. This car weighs just over 2,400 pounds, double wishbone front suspension, multi-link rear, electric power steering. But here's the important thing, the mod list. Full list in the video description, but we're running the Xida single-way adjustable coilovers with a 12 kilogram front spring rate, 6 kilogram rear, prototype sway bars, SPL Sphericals bushings, prototype Superlite big brake kit with G-Loc pads front and rear, and a prototype lightweight rear rotor kit. And we're on the 949 Racing 6ULR wheels. These are actually surprisingly big at 18/9 all around plus 45, but we're just on a very mild 225/35/18 tire. And these are not a track focused tire, although they are a summer compound. For drivetrain, we've got an OS Giken differential, full aero from Verus. In terms of the engine, we have BBR cams and valve springs, a Weldman LT header, GWR midpipe and street muffler, and it's tuned on E85. And of course, the interior has been updated with the bucket seats and the harnesses and the roll bar. But let's get this thing fired up because it's sweltering and see how this very nicely modified 949 Racing shop Miata drives. Is it that much better than a stock one? Given how popular 949 Racing is in the Miata community, I have no doubt this will be very good. So the red line has been raised here to 8,200 RPM. Let's see. Oh yeah, makes a nice sound above 7,500, which is the stock red line. The engine doesn't seem all that eager to rev out all the way to the top though. Yeah, once you get up to around 7,700, it starts to lose its breath a bit. But I'm sure it's nice having those extra revs on the racetrack when you need it, instead of having to shift. This 6-speed manual is a thing of beauty. It's so slick, pretty mechanical as well, short throws, and nice short gear ratios, which are matched perfectly to this revvy little engine. Wow. Xida coilovers, 12K front, 6K rear. It's feeling phenomenal out here so far. Excellent body control. Ed did a quick little run up here earlier before I hopped in and decided to back off the rear damping by 2 clicks. And I'm glad he did, because the compliance over bumps here is really good. Super sharp turn in. So Ed has actually done a 143 at Laguna Seca with this car with a passenger. That's pretty damn impressive for an ND2 Miata, even though this has a tuned motor. 180 wheel horsepower is still not that much. It feels nice though. I do like the extra revs, just having the option to use those extra revs. Wow, the turn-in is so sharp and immediate. Steering very direct. Yeah, this is an impressively built dual duty, but more on the side of track ND2 Miata. One thing I would appreciate is even slightly sharper throttle response. Right now it requires a little bit of a heavier blip than what I would like. I'm not sure if this has a lightweight flywheel. It does feel a little bit more responsive than a stock ND2 or ND3 in that regard, but even a little bit more response would be welcome. But keep in mind, I just hopped out of a Carrera GT, which doesn't even have a flywheel, so maybe I'm a little bit biased right now. Oh, that turn-in is crazy. You can't even compare this to a stock ND2 or ND3 suspension. Super roly-poly. This is just dialed. For one-way adjustable dampers, this is set up really well. It's so pointy, but not in a nervous way. Still really approachable, but you can tell on track, this would be a car that you drive around the rear axle. With the extra power and the very neutral chassis balance, this is a car that's set up for the experienced rear-wheel drive driver. The moment you turn that steering wheel into a corner, especially the third and fourth gear higher speed corners, you just feel that it wants to rotate. Not in a scary way, but it's not a car that strikes me as really wanting to understeer. I'll say that much. Power is nice. Getting in a groove now. This is just a car that wants you to grab it by the scruff of its neck and just absolutely go balls to the wall 10/10s. Not what I'm doing here in the canyons, but it gives me a taste of what it would be like to drive on track. And it tastes very good indeed. The one word I'd use to sum up this Miata is neutral. Neutral handling in terms of the front to rear balance, but also the driver inputs, the controls, the throttle response, the shifter, the steering. They're neutral in the sense that they're very easy to get to grips with. Very low learning curve. The transmission's not finicky. The pedal placement is perfect for heel and toe. It's just stock pedals, I believe. The smaller diameter steering wheel, the thicker grip also feels really good in the hand. I believe this is the Guardian design steering wheel, and it's just a very easy car to drive. I love that. Back there, the AC really started to struggle, but now that I'm just coasting, it's blowing nice and cold again. Yeah, this is one of the best Miatas that I've driven in the canyons before. Getting some props there from that stock looking ND3 RF. It's confidence inspiring, but also you can tell it's been set up for an experienced driver. So it's not an overly safe setup. It's something that wants to rotate on turn-in, not just on throttle, but on turn-in. And I'm sure the OS Giken diff is contributing to that, as well as these Zyda's coilovers. It's really so much better, in my opinion, than the Super Miata Techna coilovers, which is the more entry-level coilover in 949's portfolio of suspension options. I would say if you can afford the Zyda's, go for it, because this is just more compliant and better body control. It's a win-win. And this engine, higher redline, although it doesn't love to be revved out above 7,500, I like having the option to do so safely. Gives you more options on track. If you're kind of hunting between gears, no longer have to do that. You can just rev it out. And the extra maybe 15 or so wheel horsepower, 20 wheel horsepower at most, it's a nice noticeable little bump. So a big shout out to Ed from 949 Racing. Check out the full list of mods in the video description if you want to build your Miata just like this one, or if you just want to pick and choose parts. I would say definitely a big thumbs up to the Zyda's suspension. This feels excellent out in the canyons. and I'm sure on track it would be a riot as well. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, including more Miata videos. I'll never get tired of these cars. I'll see you in the next one.